We'll see. If things go in a difficult direction, I've spoken about Hungary and Poland, we have tools. If things go in the right direction, and people as a body that is always, where always governments have to be accountable to, play an important role.
This is going to be my third video update. Let's see if I can get this video up today. This would be 3 for Friday. So you saw the clown world. We're opening this video up with another clown world, this time from Ursula von der Crazy, and she was at some Princeton event or something like that, where they were talking about globalism and neoliberalism and all the stuff that these Davos elite love to talk about. And she was asked about the Italian elections, and she commented on the Italian elections, and you heard her response. Italy is going to have elections because Draghi bolted, and the elections are coming up, I believe, the first week of October, if I'm not mistaken, and it looks like a conservative type of coalition. Salvini, the Brothers Party, Meloni, it looks like they're going to win the elections, and von der Crazy sent out her warning. Basically, the coalition that wins, they better do as they are told by Brussels, or else we have the tools to punish them, as we have punished Hungary and Poland, she mentioned. And Poland. The EU has been going after Poland as well. It's kind of a weird relationship that Poland has with the EU. They are united in their hatred for Russia to hysterical levels, but Brussels has also been abusing Poland as well, specifically with the legal independence of Poland, Poland's legal sovereignty. Brussels is questioning the Law and Justice, his policies towards the legal system, and they would like Poland to fall more in line with the EU directives on legal issues. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. She mentioned that if Italy doesn't vote the way Brussels would like it to vote, and if the party that wins doesn't do as Brussels says, well, then they will be punished by Van der Crazy, Michel, and Borrell. If that isn't election meddling, I don't know what is election meddling, but look, Italy, you've been warned by Ursula. Ursula has warned you. Now, I don't know what Salvini and the brothers and this conservative coalition, I don't know what they're going to do if they win and they come to power. With regards to the EU, they're talking a big game. We'll see. With regards to Russia and Ukraine, I'm skeptical, to be quite honest. My gut is telling me that they're going to fall in line, but I could be completely wrong. They have said that they do feel a kind of kinship towards Hungary. So you could see a Hungary-Italy kind of alliance forming, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think at this moment in time, it is a question mark how exactly this conservative coalition, if it does win, how exactly it's going to govern. And if they're going to fall in line with Van der Crazy, or if they're going to be more like Orban and decide to approach things with a sovereign nation-state view of things. Anyway, that was the clown world. That is Van der Crazy right there. And let's do two more stories, and we'll end this video. Let's talk about Peskov, the Kremlin spokesperson, what he said with regards to Ukraine. And he was asked by reporters after the referendum, and if everything goes as we think it's going to go, and we're going to have four new areas joining the Russian Federation, what happens if and when Ukraine attacks these areas? And Peskov's response, well, let me read it to you, actually. Let me pull it up and read you what Peskov said. This is coming from TASS. Russia will regard Ukraine's attempts to retake Donbass and other territories as attacks on its lands if the referendums held there produce positive results. Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov told the media on Friday, quote, "It goes without saying," he said, when asked if in case of a positive outcome of the referendums, all of Kiev's attempts to retake these territories would be regarded as attacks on Russia. Peskov explained that immediately after the decision to join Russia, the Constitution of Russia will come into force in relation to these territories. Everything is very clear on this score, he said. If there is an act of accession to Russia, then accordingly, the relevant provisions of our Constitution will take effect, he summed up. Peskov also did say, it's worth mentioning, that he also said that talks with Ukraine are necessary, but Ukraine continues to snub any type of dialogue with Russia. Speaking to reporters, Peskov was asked whether Moscow believes that talks with the government in Kiev are warranted under the current conditions. The Kremlin spokesman signaled that dialogue is, and I quote, "of course needed, and it is needed to achieve our goals. But as we have already said, we do not see any prerequisites for the negotiation process," he stated. Peskov went on to say that Russian President Vladimir Putin has already explained that Ukraine left the negotiations several months ago. The Russian leader, he added, also offered the reminder that various Kiev officials had signaled that they intend to solve their problems on the battlefield. Quote, "You know very well how our president reacted to this," Peskov said. Yeah, Putin said, "We are not bluffing," and partial mobilization. And if Ukraine does decide to attack these new Russian territories, well then, the Russian Constitution kicks in. Now, what is the collective West going to do come 28th, 29th of September, say 30th of September, when everything wraps up and these territories do indeed become part of Russia? Let's say they do become part of Russia. What does the collective West do? Do they have a plan? Have they thought things out? Are they just going to ignore the referendum? Are they going to say that we don't recognize these territories as Russian territories? This referendum was a sham. Zelensky, continue doing what you've been doing. Continue to try and invade these territories. Continue to try and take land back from these territories. Continue to send missiles into these regions. Just continue doing what you've been doing, and we're going to provide you with all the money and weapons that we believe we can provide you, because it looks like the Ukraine military is indeed running out of steam, and Zelensky is running around the collective West looking for Leopards and Abrams tanks and all kinds of things, because the Ukraine military does seem to be fading away. That's how it looks. But is that what the collective West is going to do? They're just going to pretend that this referendum didn't happen. They're going to say it's a sham, and they're going to tell Zelensky to just continue to escalate. If that's the case, then the Russian Constitution kicks in, and Russia has to take action. They have to take action, decisive action. What that means, it can mean a number of things: hitting decision-making centers, really going after critical infrastructure. Who knows? And much, much more. God knows what it means. But I don't think the collective West has a plan. I did a video with Alexander on the Duran. It should be going up right now. And in that video, Alexander explains that it looks like the collective West, they haven't thought things through at all. They're just kind of playing it by ear, and they're just going to pretend that none of this happened. None of this referendum stuff, none of this partial mobilization. They're just going to kind of just tell Zelensky to keep on going forward, and they're going to play it as it comes. It seems like the collective West's plan is no plan at the moment. And we're going to see a very interesting couple of months unfold, maybe a very interesting month unfold. And everyone's greatest worry, my greatest worry, is that the neocons and the hawks, they win out when everything wraps up with regards to the referendums and all of this voting, that the neocons win out and they somehow, some way, as they always do, convince NATO or the collective West to really get involved. I mean, really get involved in this conflict. That's my greatest fear, but let's wait and see. Let's see how things progress. Either way, I agree with Alexander. I think that the collective West they haven't planned for these moves by Russia. They never thought that Russia would actually go ahead with the referendums, and they never thought that Russia would partially mobilize, and they've been caught off guard. And it's very difficult to predict what they're going to do. But the neocons, well, they should worry us all. Anyway, a final story, which is a final clown world. I'll do an extra clown world today. And this one is coming from Poland, courtesy of the real leader of Poland, Mr. Kaczynski, who is the man behind the curtain. And he is the head of Poland's ruling party. And everyone in Poland, do not worry about the energy crisis, because Mr. Kaczynski, he has found a solution for everybody. And maybe this applies to all of Europe. But for the people of Poland, Kaczynski has found relief for you during this energy crisis. He said, if you don't have money for 3 tons of coal, just buy 1.5 tons. That's it. That's the solution. It's that simple. If you can't afford 3, buy 1.5. If you can't afford 4, buy 2. And there you go. Problem solved. Anyway, that is the extra clown world. I'm going to sign out for this video, and I'm going to try to get this up. It's early evening in Nicosia, Cyprus. The sun's about to go down in about 30 minutes to an hour. So let's get this video up. TheDuran.locals.com. Take care.